Good evening, Periscope. How is everybody? It's Monday evening. That means it's time for Act on This TV's Motivation and Mind Hacks. Welcome. I'm going to give people a few seconds to join. Sarah is here. Good evening, Sarah. Let us know where you're viewing from. For those who are watching for the first time, or if you're watching on the replay, I want to say thank you so much to you for watching on the replay. My name is Ross. I'm an actor and a voiceover artist from Manchester in the UK, and I scope twice a week. Once on a Monday night, which is tonight, where we do something called Motivation and Mind Hacks, and then once on a Wednesday night. Jen is here as well. Good evening, Jen. Then once on a Wednesday night where we do a book club. The book club, we look at one book per month, and we take one or two chapters a week. In that, this week we're looking at, if I can, I've tied it up. I'll put the book away. It's a book by Robert Duff called Hardcore Self-Help. Fuck Anxiety. I was going to bleep it then, but it's alright, it's past 9 o'clock. Because a lot of people, I don't know if it's just kind of like people in the arts industry or not. Nina, good evening. Or just people in general were telling me they were suffering with quite a bit of anxiety and stuff. So we're looking at a book on anxiety for the next 2 weeks. So join us on Wednesday night. If you have missed any of the scopes, join us on Wednesday night to catch up on that. But tonight, Motivation and Mind Hacks, guys. And that is Dawn, good evening. That is effectively where we cover a topic that's going to get you more motivated. It's going to hack your mind, hack your productivity, your motivation. Lucy, good evening. Fanny, good evening. Everybody's climbing on now. The hipster is here. The full gang is joining the scope now. That's what I love to see. Tonight we're talking about a topic that absolutely should hack your motivation massively. It's something that I am super passionate about. Sounds super simple, but a lot of people don't do this. Even though they know they should have these people in their lives and do this thing, they don't do this. Hi Dawn, good evening. And that is utilising mentors. Good evening, Simon. Simon says, evening, Ross. Give me some hearts, or just let me know now if you have mentors in your life. But I mean, like, not just, but I mean specifically, like people who, you would call a mentor. Like literally, it's almost like some kind of arrangement. You might have an accountability partner. You coach each other. Miss Gypsy, good evening. Oh, good afternoon for you in America. Good evening for us. Carl's here. Carl's not been on for ages. Can we have everybody giving some hearts for Carl, please? He's not been on for quite a while. Carl was one of the first actors to go through the mindset program I launched earlier this year called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success, which is coming out again in about a week's time. I'm super excited about the new launch. I'm going to tell you about it at the end of this scope, though. I'm back for Focus and Push, says Carl. Well, this is going to help you, Carl. This is massive for you, Carl, because it's something that's really going to help you. Yeah, so let me know, guys, who has mentors here, who literally has gone out and purposely seeked, or is that the right word? Seeked. What's the past plural of to seek? The past participle. It's not sucked. Obviously, that would be very sought. Excellent. Thank you so much, Fanny. That's ridiculous. I went to a grammar school. I've got a degree, and I couldn't think of seeked or sought. My age, I'm supposed to know it all. I'm mentoring 2 drama graduates, says Nina. Right, amazing. Okay, this is awesome. I need an English graduate, not a graduate, an English graduate, an English mentor, obviously, to sort my my vocabulary out. Lost a bit of the positive stuff, says Carl, and you know how this has helped, so I'm back. Awesome. Well, these scopes do help people positively, Carl, so you're in the right place. Yeah, who's actively gone out and sought, not seeked or sucked a mentor? Who's actually gone out and sought a mentor, whether that is in your acting career, whether it is in your physicality in the gym, whether it is in your relationships, people have relationship kind of mentors or counselors and that kind of thing, whether it's in any part of like your health, your fitness, your spirituality, your emotional mastery, anything, let me know, because this is something that I started about 3 years ago, and it expedited, so much of my progress, not just in my acting career, but in my physicality, in the gym, in my businesses massively. I've got multiple mentors in business, and they're not all people that I meet, guys, in person. Miss Gypsy says she does Buddha count, says Fanny. Well, but yeah, I guess if Buddha, although Buddha can't really hold you accountable, Fanny, to be honest. unless Buddha is someone you just know who happens to be called Buddha. But yeah, and people who can hold you accountable. Generally, mentors should be anywhere between 5 and 25 years ahead of where you are in the area you want to be successful in, whether that's your acting, like I say, in your health, in your relationships, in your well-being, state of being, emotional mastery, anything like that. And yeah, they should be people who have what you would like, and effectively you can expedite your success by leveraging all of the knowledge and all of the experience and all of the resources that these mentors can give you. Tonight I'm going to go through 5 ways a mentor can skyrocket your success. Well, I sought this group. Does that make it? Yes, it does, Fanny. Lee Boardman's been mine, says Carl. Lee is an absolutely amazing guy. I texted him today. I'm going to come into Actor Tribe a little bit later this month or early next month. Yeah, Lee Boardman is a great guy. Super professional actor, always working. He's absolutely 5 to 25 years ahead of where I am in my career. Would be a great guy. I had a brew with him last week. It was supposed to be 30 minutes. It was 3.5 hours. I'd like to think that I kind of can contribute to him as well, though, in areas where he might be less experienced, because we've all got something to offer. That's the thing. Not only should you be finding mentors, the best way to get the most out of your mentor or mentors is to be a mentor for some other people, because then you know what they need, and then you can ask your mentor in the same way that you're coaching other people for what you need. So 5 ways, yeah, a mentor can skyrocket your success. And I mean, guys, so quickly, because these people have done what you want. Well, you know what? Let's just go through why it can happen so quickly. Some of these things are going to sound dead obvious, right? They were when I was writing them up, but I was like, you know what? As we always say, common sense doesn't equal common practice. We know we should be doing this, and we know this is obvious stuff, but I bet you there's a lot of people watching this either live or on the replay who are like, yeah, I know that, Ross. And I'm like, yeah, but are you implementing it in your life? And you're all going to be going, no. Okay, because it was me until a couple of years ago. And like I say, these mentors don't have to be people that you can see in real life. You can find them online. We can get them in the Facebook group. We can be mentors for each other, accountability coaches for each other, all this kind of stuff. Health and fitness, Tony Rossi, also a life coach, and you, says Miss Gypsy. Well, I'm flattered that you think I'm a mentor, Miss Gypsy. That's amazing. That's great. Tony Rossi, yeah, he's a great guy, and he's into his fitness as well. He might even be joining us on this scope soon. So number 1, the simplest thing I could think of, guys, and it is just so obvious, but it's really true. 2 heads are just better than 1. Okay, it's just a cold hard fact that you can't think, and I include myself in this, of everything yourself. And I like to think that I can think of everything myself, but I have to admit that I can't. The great thing about a mentor is they will give you new ideas about how to approach problems and opportunities based on their experience and expertise. Okay, we're going to cover experience and expertise in another point. I think it's point number 4 in a minute, because that's crucial. Many people, when working with a mentor, will get an idea from them and say, wow, why didn't I think of that? Give me some hearts if you've got no common sense. I've got loads of academic sense, but sometimes my common sense is just useless. I said this on a scope the other night. I got a yogurt pot, right? And you got your yogurt in this big pot and some granola in this small pot. I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to pour the big yogurt into the small granola. I mean, that's just stupid. It's not even not common sense. But it wasn't until the person was with me going, Ross, what are you doing? Why don't you just do this? I was like, oh my God. Honestly, Miss Gypsy, I'm flattered I can be a mentor when I can't even eat a yogurt with granola in it. But yeah, sometimes you're just like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? The reason they didn't think of that is actually quite simple, guys. It's totally normal. Everyone thinks a little bit differently, and a mentor can bring you fresh ideas that will give you a boost and are very motivating. So sometimes my web developers like this. So I run the website actonthis.tv. If you're an actor and you're not on it, get on it. It's an amazing website for actors. And sometimes I'll be thinking about a layout of a page and be like, well, I need this and I need this, but how should this work? I don't quite know how it's going to fit together and how it's going to be user friendly. And I can bash it out on my own for like a day, 2 days, and then I'll Skype Hugo, my web developer, absolute legend. It's a super posh name. It sounds like it could be out of Downton Abbey. Hugo Ashmore, very English name, although Hugo is that French? Ashmore sounds English, but very Downton Abbey. And And yeah, he'll be like, Ross, well, have you just thought of doing this? I'm like, oh my God, no. Like, that's just so simple. But he thinks in a different way. He thinks from a developer's perspective, whereas I think from an actor's perspective, which God knows what perspective that is. But yeah, ultimately, 2 heads are always better than 1, okay? And also, give me some hearts. If you know, the acting industry can be pretty bloody lonely sometimes, can't it? Do you ever sit there feeling like you're a little bit on your own? Because I know I do sometimes, even though we're surrounded by people virtually on the internet and in the Facebook group and all that kind of stuff. You know, we're all acquaintances, you know, we're all good friends, but you know, your best mates who you've grown up with and the people who are generally, you know, on your inner circle, they're not actors, or they're not in my life anyway. So sometimes it can be really quite lonely, even though sometimes you're surrounded by all these people, you still sometimes feel a little bit isolated, where it's always nice if you know, if you target a specific person, a specific actor you can get closer with. And then, you know, on those moments where you are having a little bit of a wobble, give them a bell, get on the phone. Oi, got any ideas how to do this? Because I think I've thought of everything. And they might just go, have you thought of this? You go, oh no, I haven't. And so number 1, yeah, 2 heads are better than 1. I have a lot of non-actor mates, and they don't get me really, says Carl. Yeah, they don't. My mates, I've got like my best mate, one of my best mates, Dean, is an aircraft engineer, trained to be a pilot. Carl is like some sort of, I don't even know what Carl is. Some sort of like accountancy type thing in a business. I've got no idea. My mate Liam is a joiner, training to be a personal trainer. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, nothing to do with acting. My mate Sean, who I hang out with in the gym a lot, is a boiler engineer. So I don't get any support off my mates for my acting career because they haven't got a clue anything about it. All they do, if your mates are anything like my mates, is they take the mick out of me and say, when are you going to get a real job? So when do you get a proper job? That's what they're like all the time. Even when I'm having success and they see me on the telly, they're like, when are you going to get a proper job, mate? Every single time. So they just don't get it sometimes. Your mentor will get you because you will have chosen him or her for a reason. Like I say, they should be 5 to 25 years ahead of you in that area you want to improve in. Number 2, okay, really important, and I think we do this in the Facebook group, which is nice. If you're not part of the Facebook group, apologies for that. Periscope does that sometimes. If you're an actor and you're not in the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/act on this TV, come and join. Because a mentor will push you. Lulu, good evening. For those people who just probably might have got cut off on this, by the way, sorry about that. Like I say, Periscope just had a little bit of a wobble then. Hopefully it'll be a bit more stable now. The great thing about a mentor is they will push you to try to reach higher levels of achievement. Okay, Lulu, hello. For example, you may tell your mentor that you want to contact 3 new casting directors this week. Your mentor, if they are the right kind of mentor, will push you and say, why not shoot for 6? You know, why not double it? Okay, I always say 10x your goals, because then if you don't reach them, you're still going to do more than your original, like, 1x. Great mentors will expand your thinking and get you to understand that you have unlimited potential and talent, okay? The huge part of Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success, the mindset program that I'm going to launch again soon. Carl and the people who are on this scope who have already been through it will know that a lot of the program is based around, well, it's all to do with your belief system effectively, but a lot of that is fueled by the belief you have in your potential, okay? And sometimes you will be blinded by whatever limiting beliefs you've created over the years to what potential you actually have. And going back to it this week, says Carl, amazing Carl, good. And there'll be an option for those who've already been through the program once, Carl, if you didn't get the live training last time, to get to buy just the live training this time. It's fantastic, Carl says in capital letters, so people can get a little bit of a boost if you want to just join the live sessions this time again. But yeah, sometimes you don't see your own potential. Now it's down to your mentor. Okay, your mentor's job is to see more potential in you than you can see in yourself. How many times do you see another actor or a friend of yours in a similar position as you, and you can almost motivate them better than you can motivate yourself? Okay, because you can see more potential in them than you can actually see in you as a person, okay? And they can probably see more potential in you than you can see in yourself. It's all the time, says Fanny. Always can, says Carl. So it's your mentor's job, always, says Miss Gypsy. It's your mentor's job to see more potential in you than you see in yourself. And sometimes to unlock your true potential, you've got to give someone else the key sometimes and go, okay, right, I'm going to put you in control of me effectively. Tell me what to do. Who likes being told what to do? Not in a weird, dodgy sense. Who likes being told what to do in terms of, I think you should do this, because you can't make your own decisions sometimes because you're indecisive. It's a lot easier, isn't it? I do, says Fanny. Says, oh, I'm Carl. Carl, yes, says Fanny. Yeah, we all like being told what to do because it takes the pressure off us to make a decision. Sometimes decision making is difficult. So your mentor, because they've had more experience than you, should be able to tell you what to do. And it should not just be a guess or an estimate. It should be pretty bang on because they've probably been where you are right now, and you can save a lot of time by not making the mistakes that they made, or hopefully if they had a mentor, their mentor made, or so on and so on. So number 3, so that was number 2, a mentor can push you, okay? Number 3, this is so important. I've done this for quite a few people actually, when they've asked, and you've got to ask your mentors for stuff, otherwise you don't get, okay? And that is that a mentor can provide resources for you. Now I don't mean money, although maybe they can sometimes. I know some people who have bankrolled people they're mentoring, but mentors may know about or be aware of additional resources that you do not know about. Okay, so this might be something as simple as when you're first starting out in the acting industry and you're like, where do I find casting directors' contact information? And you're like, well actually I know of a book called Contacts, I know of a website called IMDb, and I know of a website called the Casting Directors Guild, and I also know that Contacts is going digital now, so if you're a member of Spotlight, you can get access to the beta version of Contacts, which is an online database now of casting directors' contact details, agents' contact details, everyone in the industry's contact details. If you were new to the industry and you didn't know that, you could spend weeks trying to track people down. It takes one person to go, did you know this exists? Oh my God, no, I didn't know that existed. You know of resources that other people might not know of. People in the Facebook group before were asking about apps that help you learn lines. Now I know an app called Line Learner is great, or an app called Rehearsal 2 is very good as well. That could save somebody, well, an audition effectively. It could get them a job because they end up being able to learn their lines in an evening as opposed to having to learn them in 3 days and not knowing them for the audition. So you know about resources, and your mentor should as well. There's an old saying that says it's not what you know, it's who you know. Everyone's heard that, super cliche, but that's so true. I would take that a step further though and say it's not just who you know, but more importantly what resources that person knows about that counts. And those resources can be other people as well, other people they can introduce you to. All of us have had the experience of working on something for a long time and then meeting an expert and then telling you about the tool or resource that would have saved you hours of time and energy. You then slap yourself in the forehead and say, if I had only known. Okay, mentors can save you a tremendous amount of time and energy by guiding you. Okay, and like I say, that can also be by guiding you in terms of introductions. Okay, so sometimes we don't really like to push our boundaries or ask for too much, but I always say, you know what, try your luck sometimes. And if you know somebody and you've got a good rapport with them, particularly if it's a mentor, and you know they know somebody else. I do this all the time on Act on This in order to get guests for my podcasts and my interviews. There's no way I would have been able to get BAFTA winning actors, directors like Lewis Arnold had on the other day. He directs Broadchurch, the biggest drama we have over in the UK right now. There's no way I'd be able to get these people if I didn't get other people who I'd had on the podcast to introduce me to at least one other person. I always say to people who come on, anyone who you think would be up for this, could you introduce me, give me an introduction, send them an email on my behalf or whatever it is. Your mentors will have access to resources that you don't. Ask for them. They can only say no. Be a little bit cheeky, but if you contribute to your mentor in a positive way, they're going to give you access to that stuff as well. Can't all be take. You've got to give some back sometime. So that's number 3. A mentor can provide resources. Number 4, and this is what we mentioned before in that earlier slide, but it's so important, I want to come back to it. A mentor can share expertise based on experience. This is the key. Sounds dead simple, guys, but when you think about Yoda in Star Wars, okay, Yoda's a tremendous mentor to the young Luke Skywalker. One of the reasons Yoda's a great mentor is because he has had a lot of experience. He's got a lot of experience and wisdom. That's the beauty of having a mentor. They have a lot of expertise because they've actually done what it is that you want to know more about. Experience is a great teacher and your mentor has already learned many lessons from their experience which they can share with you. Okay, so ultimately the key is, it's not hypothesis, it's like I say, it's not estimating things or saying I think you maybe should do this or you maybe should do that. It's all based on hard fact. They've done it. How do I go about getting a mentor? Right, Dawn, well we'll talk about this at the end, because this is something, there's loads of different options for this, and I know people who have written books have written books on this. Literally there's books, things like The Millionaire Mentor and all this kind of stuff, most of it for business, but there are lots of ways you can go about getting a mentor, and like I say, you know, it's got to be a real partnership effectively. It isn't just like, hey, who can help me, give me everything, and then I can just take, and then when I'm successful, there you go. I think you should always concurrently be mentoring someone else who's a few steps behind you at the same time that you're being mentored. I just think it kind of like, you know, karma works like that, doesn't it? You know, the order of the universe works like that. You should always be giving from your well, as long as your well is being, you know, filled up somewhere else. Number 5, this is a similar point to what we just said, but a mentor can tell you what to expect. Women, you might know about this book, but there was a great book out many years ago called What to Expect When You're Expecting. Okay, and it was a book for women who were pregnant, and it walked them through what they could expect in each month of pregnancy. I've never been pregnant. I'm never going to be. But for those who have been pregnant on this scope, ladies, how scary is your first pregnancy if you don't have your mum or an older lady who's already been through it telling you what to expect? Anyone been in that situation where they've been pregnant and they've had nobody there to tell them what to expect? Because I imagine that's proper scary. Because, you know, any little hiccup you have, you can go, oh my God, is this normal? Do all women have this? I don't know. Yes, says Miss Gypsy. I can't imagine what that must be like, but I imagine it's, you know, it's pretty daunting. Okay, so there's this book called What to Expect When Expecting, and it was a massive hit because it told women literally that, what to expect. This groundbreaking book helped alleviate anxiety of women who were pregnant for the first time. This is what your mentor can do for you. Your mentor can tell you what to expect. Miss Gypsy was 16 too. Wow, that is daunting. And so your mentor can tell you what to expect as you go through your life's journey. So that when things happen, you have less anxiety because you're not surprised that they have happened. You've been warned they were going to happen. Knowing what to expect can be a huge advantage and help you think more clearly when those things actually happen. Okay, so yeah, there's no surprises. Ultimately, Acting Mechanics, Rachel has joined. Good evening, Rach. Yeah, there's going to be no surprises. You know what to expect. So to recap, from 5 to 1. The 5 reasons, okay, a mentor can skyrocket your success. Number 5, a mentor can tell you what to expect. Okay, there's gonna be no surprises on that road. Number 4, a mentor can share expertise based on experience. Okay, so they're not guessing. They've been there, they've done that. So important. Number 3, a mentor can provide resources, okay, and that can be all kinds of things. It could be money, like I say, if they want to bankroll you, but more importantly, it's going to be a knowledge of tools, techniques, strategies that are going to save you time ultimately, because time can cost you a shed load of money. So even if they're not giving you cash direct, they're going to save you a lot of money by just saving you so much time. Okay, and it can also be those introductions to other people that are so important. Number 2, a mentor will push you. Just will. You're going to be pushed more. I work so much harder in the gym when my buddy Sean is with me because he's so much stronger than I am. I always work so much harder when I'm with him. So mentor will push you. And then number 1, dead simple, but it's so true, isn't it? 2 heads are just better than 1. We all think differently. You might have thought you've exhausted a situation. You don't know, kind of what to think next. You might have thought you've thought of everything. Someone comes along and goes, wait a minute, have you thought of this? And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it was actually like so simple. I've had that happen to me loads of times. So I want to end on a little quote, and then we'll talk about how you get mentors, okay, and different strategies for that. Always to end on that, okay? It says, tell me and I forget. So that's like, when someone just tells you what to do, okay? You don't retain that. I think we retain about 40% of information we're kind of told if we're not engaged with it. Teach me and I may remember, okay? So that's always nice to be taught, isn't it, rather than told. Involve me and I learn. So ultimately, that's the job of your mentor, to involve you in the coaching that they give you. You can be given a load of information and just not act on it. You know, it's experience that forms our beliefs about ourselves. Benjamin Franklin said that. So the experience you can get with a mentor is so important. Information alone will never change your beliefs about yourself or anything around you. Beliefs are created through experiences. So go and have experiences with your mentors. So in terms of finding mentors, okay, well, the simplest place now, I always talk about the Facebook group, but we've got 3,000 actors in the Facebook group now, and they're not all actors. Some are filmmakers, some are editors. I know some directors have joined, and some acting coaches are part of the group as well. There is nothing wrong at any time putting a shout out in the Facebook group, either a question about something, or is there anybody who has had experience in this who would like to private message me and give me a few pointers. You can have accountability buddies where you can hold each other accountable. That's a form of mentorship in itself, just holding you to deadlines, making you commit to stuff so that you don't let yourself off. So many times deadlines slip time and time again because people don't have anybody to hold them accountable. So let's get a bit of a buddy system going if people would be up for that. Other places to find mentors: social media. If you're looking for something very specific, you can find every type of person on social media. LinkedIn is a great one. LinkedIn is brilliant. It's a really underutilized platform. I think everybody thinks of LinkedIn as like a business thing. If you're just involved in business, money making, property, real business, not show business. They don't think of LinkedIn. LinkedIn's got hundreds of thousands of actors, directors, producers, writers. Every single type of person you can imagine in the industry is on LinkedIn. And there's loads of acting groups on LinkedIn as well, which you should get involved with, as well. You find so many people in those groups. Other places I found some of my best mentors is when I've been looking for online courses. And I've just done a Google, or I listen to podcasts from people, and I find that the person who I'm listening to the podcast has an online course about a certain area of life. I've bought courses on all sorts of things: business, web development, gym. There's been acting, books, I guess, not courses, but a lot of acting books that I've ended up getting online because I've heard somebody's podcast, or it's been recommended to me by somebody else. So that's a form of mentorship. Don't think your mentors have to be people that you see in the flesh. For me, so there's a guy who mentors me physically at the moment, a guy called Louis, who is in the States. I met him when I was out in LA last year. He has something called the Lift Club, which is on Facebook. It's a Facebook group that we're all part of. He sets me tasks and stuff every single week. Mark, another guy who mentors me in business, he's out in LA as well. Then we've got there's a guy called Lewis and a guy called Michael who mentor me in business. They're out in the States. So I've got Sean over here, who's my buddy in the gym. And then in the acting industry, people Lee Boardman's awesome. People like Michael Jackson, Beverly Keogh, casting. They've been really, really helpful for me. My mate Rob Collier has had a lot of experience now. He went from 0 drama school to working on Downton Abbey. He's now just on the level for ITV. He's going on to something else very soon as well. So we always have a chat about what to do, where to go. Ultimately, you've just got to find those people who are 5 to 25 years further down the line than you are and ask for help. People like being asked for help because it makes them feel important, because they're like, wow, someone actually thinks of me, that I'm in a position to actually help them. I'm sure you can't just tweet Idris Elba and go, Idris, any chance of of mentorship, pal? Because I don't think he's going to do it. But those people are just a few steps ahead. I've started doing that so much this year. It's just funny. Honestly, you really should find it. It's like if you don't ask, you just don't get. Okay, and when you ask for help, seriously, in 95% of cases, I always get what I ask for. I never ask for anything massive. I don't want hours and hours and hours with these people. But to check in with somebody for an hour, once a month or twice a month, is really powerful. It doesn't mean they've got to be with you the whole time. But Fanny says yes. But yeah, 1 hour, 2 hours a month That's literally all it is. It's just somebody who you know has got your back, sees more potential in you than you see in yourself, and can just drag you out of the shit in terms of your state of being when you've taken a beating, okay? Because we all are facing a battle. Life is fine. Mike Tyson said, everything's great until life punches you in the face. And trust me, probably once a month, maybe once a week in some areas, sometimes in your life, once a day, occasionally, life will punch you in the face and you'll go through a little bit of a trough. Your mentors are going to be the people who are like, you know what, I'm going to throw you the lifesaver, and I'm going to pull you out, pull you up for a bit, dry you off. But just think, guys, I just want you to think of who you've got in your life, who is mentoring you. And if you don't have anybody, find somebody this week. Rachel's giving 2 of these. Fists, they mean, yeah, go. Yeah, but honestly, you've got to find people, but consciously do it. You know, if you've got people who are almost accidental mentors in your life, concrete that relationship in. Say, listen, I want to aim for this month. This is my goal for the next 6 weeks. Will you hold me accountable? You know, can I call you up if I'm stuck? Likewise, if you're stuck and you want to chew the fat with me and, you know, throw some ideas off me as a springboard, because we can all do that for each other regardless of our expertise. We all know what kind of sounds like a good or a bad idea in most cases. True mentor will call you on your authenticity. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. And yeah, and a lot of real mentors will be able to see things objectively, and they will see things without your ego getting in the way. Sometimes our egos get in the way and we start to do stuff, or we're aiming for goals for the wrong reason, and your mentor will see that. So Lee Boardman said to me just a couple of weeks ago when I had a brew with him, he said, listen Ross, I think occasionally you need to start saying no to things now, because I'm always like the yes man on so many things. And I'm like, you know what, that's absolutely right. I get emotionally attached to it and I can't see past that. Whereas other people, like, actually Ross, sometimes you might seem a little bit keen, and you need to step back a little bit, because then people might appreciate your contribution more. I've had that happen a couple of times in my life where I have stepped back. People then start asking me much more nicely to do things. People start offering money to pay me for things, as opposed to me always just being like the little dog, you know, little puppy going, yeah, I'll do it. You know, so it's nice sometimes to have people who are like, actually, I've done this in my life, because he said that about himself. He said sometimes, you know, we need to kind of step back. Lewis Arnold said this as well, the director. He said he's so keen and he's working on the best dramas in the country, but he's like, sometimes he has to get that line right between keen and desperate. Sometimes, you know, he's like, sometimes like he can come across desperate, and he's like, well, he's not. He's working on the best stuff in the industry, but he's so passionate. His passion can sometimes be confused for desperation. So you know, it's nice to just have people like that in your life who can actually look at you objectively and go, okay, I think you should do this because I've done this in my life and it worked for me. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, guys, you know, that's it. It's quite a basic message on this one, but I just know a lot of people in the Facebook group, in our circle, know they should be utilizing and leveraging the power of mentorship, but they're not doing it for whatever reason. They're letting themselves off it. And ironically, if they had a mentor, they wouldn't be allowed to let themselves off it. So it's kind of a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Get a mentor and you're going to do better. Don't, you know, and you're going to continue to have no one holding you accountable, and you're never going to get round to getting a mentor. So yeah, get out there, seek people who can help you. I found it almost impossible to find someone, a real mentor. But tell me what you've done then, Fanny. I mean, what have you actually done? And have you, are you meeting these people in real life? Like I say, I bet you've got lots of mentors in your life you don't even realise about. If you listen, because you listen to a lot of stuff online, a lot of podcasts. I see you posting YouTube videos in the Facebook group and that kind of thing quite a lot. You know, those people as virtual mentors can be really powerful as well. Real mentors, yeah, you know, you'll have to work harder to get and to concrete those relationships with. I always find acting classes are a brilliant place to find mentors. People are very busy though. Yeah, absolutely, but like I say, you're only asking for, you know, maybe that 15-minute Skype call once a month, twice a month. They're not there to hold your hand. The thing as well, whenever I've kind of mentored people as well, the one thing that I see holding people back and can be quite frustrating when you're telling people to do stuff sometimes is they don't implement, they don't take that action immediately on what you've told them to do. and then you'll see them a month later and they'll still be in the same place, and you go, have you done that yet? Oh no, I haven't done that. It's like, it doesn't kind of work then. You've got to take immediate action on what you're told to do, because that's going to inspire your mentor to invest even more in you as well when they see you doing what they've told you, and you're getting results from that. My best mentors have been ones I paid for. Absolutely, cost me more not to invest. Tony, absolutely, honestly, so important. Sometimes you will have to pay for them, because then when you invest skin in the game, you're going to be more likely to follow through. That's sometimes where I found that accountability buddy systems haven't worked when they're voluntary, because people think, oh, well, I'm not paying, so it doesn't really matter. When you pay, you get results. I've considered a life coach, says Fanny. Yeah, honestly, I think you do definitely get what you pay for. I've spent thousands of dollars on a single course. One course I went on last year was $4,000. And I was like, the old Ross a few years ago would be like, oh my God, that's such a lot of money to invest. I could buy this or that or this with it. Like Tony just said there, when you look at it actually, what it's gonna cost you if you don't invest is far more than that $4,000. You have so much more to lose than that $4,000. Funny, I can't recommend them enough, says Tony. Can you recommend a good online life coach? A lot of mine are all business related, Fanny, so they probably wouldn't relate to you. Tony, what have you got for Fanny that would be a good start? And even if it's maybe just a course initially, that you can take in your own time, it doesn't have to be like live one-to-one stuff. But for those who are interested in business stuff, there's a guy called Michael Hyatt. He's absolutely brilliant. Gary Vaynerchuk, total legend. If anybody's interested in business, I think in general, Lewis Howes is a great guy. He does a podcast called The School of Greatness. Highly recommend that. Pat Flynn, if you're into business as well, and websites, a guy called Pat Flynn. He does something called Smart Passive Income, the SPI podcast. Very, very good. Everything affects everything though, so business ones won't be bad. No, they won't, Fanny, absolutely. If you're interested in business, that is, yeah. You've got to be passionate about it, but if you are, then that's absolutely great. Courtney Rue, she does coaching specifically for actors and artists. I've heard Tony talk a lot about this person. Will you post something in the Facebook group, Tony, to that, just to let everybody know? mybigyear.com, thewholeartist.com. There you go, mybigyear.com, thewholeartist.com. This is great. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is mentorship happening right here. People who have, knowledge of resources that you don't know can save you a shitload of time. And Tony and Miss Gypsy have just saved us a shitload of time by suggesting those people. So thank you, appreciate that. But yeah, anyone who you think is useful, post it in the Facebook group without a doubt. There's not really any commercial advertising allowed in the Facebook group, but stuff like this is perfectly allowed because it's been requested. So yeah, I'll make sure the moderators don't delete anything like that. But just say Ross has said it's cool to post this, and we'll get people hooked up there. But yeah, honestly, I can't recommend it enough, guys. I probably have, 6 or 7 people in my life who are classed as mentors. Who some people I see once every couple of months or 3, once a quarter. Other people I hear from virtually, and I mean when I say virtually, I mean like online, most days. Some of them, minimum 3 times a week, and it makes a massive difference in my life because it just motivates me. A lot of the time, there'll be a day a week where I suddenly just, I get up and I'm not feeling it. I just want to go and lie on my bed and have a nap for a little bit. And these are the people who I'm like, right, I'm going to send a Facebook message to this guy or this girl. I'm going to get in the Facebook group of a particular, community I'm part of. And I suddenly just, I get motivated instantly again. It happened today. I mean, honestly, today I was lay on my bed going with my iPhone doing a little bit of work, and I saw a post from someone else who had had some success in a website they were running, and I was like, boom, right, that's got me fired up to go and have that myself and go and try that out myself. So yeah, super powerful. And so I hope that's helped, guys. I just, to just kind of make you think about the people you've got in your life. We did that scope, didn't we? The types of people, the 4 types of people you should have in your life for success. We did that last week, last Monday, and I just wanted to kind of expand on that today with that one particular type, mentors and mentorship. So I hope it's got you thinking. I'm going to be back on Wednesday for to Miss Gypsy. See if I can find this book. Where did I put it? There it is. There it is. For book club, Hardcore Self-Help, Fuck Anxiety. It's a great book by Robert Duff, PhD. Very, very easy to read. Very, very blunt language, as you can tell by the title. But it's a very, very good book on tackling anxiety. As I said, thankfully, I'm learning all about this. It's something that I've never, had kind of suffered from. But I know a lot of people do, and it's not, it's anything to be kind of, passed over. And this book, I think, will help a lot of people. We've looked at 2 chapters of it so far. We're going to look at another chapter on Wednesday night, 9 PM UK time, so come and join us for that. And then we'll look at a further chapter the week after. If you want to get this book, get to Amazon. It was about £6, that was all. It's £2 on Kindle. Did you see my suggestion for book club, Ross? 10% happier. I don't know. It rings a bell, Fanny. Maybe I did. If I liked your comment, yeah. But I'll have a look at that. I'll have a look at that, definitely. Bulletproof. Work on it when you want. Own pace. This relates to business and actors. You're so inspirational, Ross. Thank you. Wow, amazing, Dawn. Well, thank you. I'll tell people a little bit about Bulletproof Actor. So, guys, because Carl's on here tonight. Carl did this program last year when I first launched it. So I got into high performance mindset and science-backed positive psychology about 8 years ago when, well, a decade ago my life was just shit, to be honest with you. I was working for minimum wage in a toy shop. I'd graduated from drama school, but I was getting nowhere in my acting career. I had a lot of limiting beliefs about my potential, what I could do, with the success I could have, whether I needed to stay. Well, I just convinced myself I needed to stay in that rut, working in that job that I hated. Somehow convincing myself I was going to have some success in the acting industry. It was never going to happen, really. And I met a mentor of mine, a guy called Mark Hughes. His name now is Mark Dharma. He changed his name because of his heritage was actually the African slave trade in America. They obviously had their surnames of their masters, so his surname was Hughes, after the name of the family he belonged to. Well, not him, but his ancestors belonged to. And he tracked down his name and changed his name to Dharma. So his name's Mark Dharma now, not Mark Hughes. And I met him. He got me very heavily into positive psychology, working out, the science of success. Like I say, none of the woo-woo bullshit, all proper, empirical evidence, science-backed stuff. He went to study a master's degree at Claremont University in Los Angeles, and now he's a high-performance coach out there. He coaches millionaires, billionaires, huge business people, celebrities. He's coached people like Rita Ora. He's worked on the Bourne films. Lots of really great people. Still a mentor of mine today. But I effectively transformed my life quite quickly by implementing a lot of stuff over, a 6 to 9 month period, really. And then everything kind of changed for me. I started working a lot more in TV. I launched 3 online businesses. I could leave that job. I became financially free in the online space that I was working in and earning money in. Ultimately, just ended up having a lot more success than I'd ever had before, and I build on that. And that's why I do these scopes now and try and give back. And I'm constantly learning, though. I'm certainly not anywhere near where I want to be. Got a huge journey ahead of me, but I'm sharing that journey with you guys. And I created a course. It took me 7 months to create, effectively distilling down all of the knowledge that I'd accumulated over the last sort of 8 to 10 years on the science of success, particularly for the acting industry, although it might as well be called Bulletproof Plumber because this stuff applies to anybody. And I created a huge course which I only launch twice a year. Greatly appreciate your Periscopes, says Miss Gypsy. Thank you, Miss Gypsy. I launch this course twice a year, once in February, once in October. And I launched it for the first time in February just gone, and we took 50 students through it, and it's changed a lot of those students' lives massively. It basically tears down scientifically through some cutting-edge strategies and techniques all the people's limiting beliefs they have about themselves, which have basically been formed by past experiences they've had, experiences that they may have had 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that are still limiting them today. Limitations on what they look like, their talent, their age, their status with money, all kinds of negative relationships with themselves and the things around them that have caused these crazy limiting beliefs that they suddenly, today they can't get through. They still are blocked by. The course consists of 33 HD videos, over 4 hours of video, 5 massively in-depth PDF workbooks. It will take you about 5 weeks to complete, and there's also a VIP option where we do weekly live coaching calls once a week for 5 weeks. That's if you want a mentor and you want to be held accountable. We have a group, we come online, we do a conference call, everyone gets to know everybody. You get access to a VIP Facebook group as well. Standard members who just go for the self-study one still get access to a normal Facebook group. And effectively, yeah, you know, we all work together. It's 5 of the funnest weeks of my year doing this and seeing people absolutely transform their lives. But I'm going to launch it again in around about 10 days. But before I launch it, I'm going to put out a free 3-part video course, which is about 90 minutes long. It's a super in-depth video course that will give you an introduction to the material covered here and take you through a process that's really going to help you regardless of whether you go on to get the full program or not. And I'm going to launch that, the first video, I think this Thursday. Okay, if you want to get on the list to be the first to receive that, if you go to bulletproofactor.com, you'll just see a little form on the page where you can put your name and your email address in. You'll be the first people to get access to that. Video 1 will be launched on Thursday. Video 2 launches on the Monday or the Tuesday, I think. Video 3 the following Thursday. And then the full program opens for registration for a 7-day period after that. Whilst that registration period is open, I'll be doing some webinars and some special Periscopes to answer people's questions if they want to get involved with that. But I promise you, and I only want the most dedicated actors going for this, it will transform your life if you commit to it. Do it. It helped me and still is, guys. I'm going back to it this week. Awesome, Carl. Thank you so much, mate, for the testimonial there. But I've seen it really, really transform people. So much so that I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. If you buy it, now if you do buy it, you've got to commit to it. So you've got to go through all of the lessons. You've got to watch all of the videos, and I can tell if you watch the videos or not, because I can track everybody's progress and tell you exactly to what second of what video you have watched, okay? So if you commit to it and you go through it and you fill in all the workbooks and you do it all and you don't feel, it's absolutely 10x your confidence, your motivation, your productivity. It literally just made you feel 10 times the person you were before you started. I will give you a full refund. Literally no questions asked. If you can prove to me you've completed the course and I can see you've watched all the videos, you get a full refund. Absolutely, I will ask no other questions. Not a single person out of the 50 who went through it in February asked for a refund. So, you know, the history kind of speaks for itself there. But if you're interested in literally, you know, if you've got a higher vision for your life and career, guys, ultimately, and you want to live at a higher level than 99% of the people out there, get involved with this, okay? It literally will be an investment of, well, it depends on which product you buy, but a couple of £100 that will set you up for a lifetime of success. If I said to you, would you be prepared to invest a few hours of your life to set yourself up for a life of success? I'm sure you would say yeah. Something tells me no one will want their money back from this. No one has so far, which is great, but I would be happy to give it them if they did. I'm going back to the beginning, need to. Awesome, Carl. I definitely want to do it, says Dawn. We'll go to bulletproofactor.com, put your name and email address in the form there, and I'll keep everybody up to date. I think it's about 45 people on the waiting list. I only really want to have a group of a maximum of 50 kind of doing this. It's not a huge business like Money Spinner of mine. It's just an amazing month and a bit where I take people through this, and you get access to it for life once you've done it. So like Carl's had it nearly a year, you can go back to it, do it again, have a refresher. And those weekly live calls that we do are great fun because we get to mentor each other effectively, and I learn a shed load as well. I'm certainly not the guru. I can take you through all this and talk you through a load of high performance stuff, but we learn so much from each other because we've all got such unique situations, and we formed a really tight group of people who you will get access to as well if you join this time. Cheers, Ross. Missed all this, but but putting time back in. Yeah, no, definitely do it, Carl. Without a doubt, mate. And Carl will be. He's part of the VIP group. So if you do join this time, you'll get access to that as well, and you'll benefit from all the knowledge of the people who've already been through the course. Because I want these guys contributing and mentoring you guys who are going through it for the first time as well. Because they're going to learn a lot, have a refresher from what they've already been through, and then be able to mentor the other people who are coming through. It's just a super, super positive thing to do. So if you do want to be part of it, you've got a chance before the doors close be like the first week of November, and then it won't open again until 2017. So this is the last chance you'll be able to get access to it this year. So yeah, check it out, bulletproofactor.com. If you've got any questions, ask me in the Facebook group, drop me an email, ross@bulletproofactor.com, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. So thanks guys, really appreciate you, thanks so much for watching. Go and find some mentors in your life. Seriously, it's going to improve your success rate massively. Is it just for actors, says Miss Gypsy? Well, as I said, Miss Gypsy, it's like, it's coated in acting situations here and there, saying how does this apply to your acting career? But ultimately, no, it's not. I mean, as I say, it could have been called Bulletproof Plumber, or Bulletproof Personal Trainer, or I don't know, Bulletproof Singer, Bulletproof anything. Because the lessons that are in here apply to every single human being on the planet. I mean, literally everybody can benefit from this. And no, it's not, you know, it's called Bulletproof Actor, so I have to put stuff in there that kind of relates to the acting industry, but it's totally for everybody. For me, it's personal, not just acting, says Carl. No, it is, honestly, it'll bring a lot of stuff up for you. It's a hard course, guys. It will get you to ask questions of yourself that are super, super uncomfortable, that probably frighten you, to be honest. But if you're to set yourself free of the limiting bullshit that's stopping you, you've got to go there. Learned a lot about me, says Carl. Yeah, I see a lot of people learning a lot about themselves, and it will take you back to lots of experiences you've had in your life, get you to ask a lot of questions, get you to do a lot of writing. You know, it's a program really for committed people. It's not something that you can just do in 5 minutes and go, there you go, I've done it. It will take you for a full 5 weeks to do if you do it properly, and you'll be working on what you produce in that program for the rest of your life, you know, continuously improving your limitless life story that we create for you through the program. It's awesome, honestly. I just suggest people try it out if they're thinking about doing it. And like I say, as long as you commit to it and go through it, if you don't find it, you know, transformational, absolutely will refund you every single penny. But I know the people who commit to it and go through it will. You know, so it's just such a cool, yeah, really cool thing to do. I love going through it because every time I go through it, I find something new. When I take other people through it, and it's a real, you know, it's a real refresher for me to do that as well. But cheers for watching, guys. I'll be back Wednesday night, for the book club. Join us 9 PM UK time, or Miss Gypsy, Tony, whatever time that will be for you guys in the States. If you've been watching all this way on the replay, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Carl, great to see you again, buddy. Come and get more involved in the Facebook group, the Act on This Facebook group as well. You need some motivation and a bit of a accountability. Come and get involved there. Revisit Bulletproof Actor and let us know what we can do for you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Gypsy. Cheers, everybody. I will see you Wednesday night. Go and find your mentors. Go and be great. And yeah, report back on Wednesday to let me know how you're doing. All right, have a good one. Bye for now.